Oh, yay, I haven't even started and I'm getting the message about closing unused applications. Yay. Okay, okay. Oh, I see. I have a lot of things open. How are you? I am fine. I used to, when my Aunt Margaret was alive, I used to send her letters. Remember letters? We used to write letters. And, I couldn't, it would be, hi, how are you? I am fine. And that was basically it. And I'd mail it. And then she'd write back. And I don't know what she'd say because her handwriting was illegible, but I could sort of make it out sometimes. And it might say, hi, how are you? I am fine. And I feel like I was, I don't know, elementary or, well, it was forever. It was always. And I feel like it was always the same letter. And for a while, I could read her writing, kind of. I wonder if I have any of her writing. It was awful. And my mom, bless her soul, could read, I think up until the very end, could still read Aunt Margaret's handwriting. And it looked like chicken scratch to everybody else. But anyway, hi, how are you? I am fine. It's like, thank you. Thank you for the thank you. Thank you for the thank you for the thank you. At some point, we have to stop. Okay, I'm almost done closing all the windows. I don't want to close that window because I'll forget what's in there. Okay. Hi. Hi, Diane. Talk to your mom. Come see me later. So hi. It's a cold, blustery, gray, cold, blustery day. I just worth repeating. I took Clara out recently for a WALKOUT side, and she doesn't care, but the snow was, I want to say three-dimensional. Snow's always three-dimensional, I guess, but this was like pellets. I don't know that it's like Dippin' Dots. It was like miniature Dippin' Dots. That was the snow, and it's like cold. I think it's so cold. Hi, Anna. I think it's so cold that it's just too cold for the snow. It can't even, so it's just curling up in little balls and just like not touch it. They're like, don't touch me. I'm just this little ball over here next to these other little balls. It's cold. I need to actually like start putting on the appropriate outerwear when I go outside. That would be smart. I'm still in denial. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. It's only going to get worse. February is going to be really bad. February is always really bad. I think my theory, because I know you want to know, is that February is the coldest month of the year, and in Michigan, anyways, particularly in this area. I think it's just because it's after January that it seems like it's the coldest, longest month, because it's obviously not the longest month. Yeah, hi Beth. It's like miniature hail almost. Beth, talk to me later about cables, will ya? Um, cables. I don't know what I was just talking about. Oh, so I once one of the two arguments that I ever okay discussions. One of the two discussions that I ever lost with my now ex-husband was about whether February was the coldest month. I lost. It was January. We looked it up. It's February. It's February. Everybody else is wrong. The other one was small ice balls. Yeah, they're just Dippin' Dots. I don't know. Um, the other discussion that I lost was, and you guys probably already know the answer to this, but I did not know the answer to this at the time, and I still don't believe it either. But my very smart now ex-husband insisted that potatoes were not a vegetable. No comments yet. Because, and this was his reasoning, when you go to the restaurant, the wait staff, the wait person, the person who's going to give you the potatoes says, potato or vegetable. And based on that, therefore, potatoes are not a vegetable. I'm like, are you kidding me? So after I don't know how many years of saying, are you kidding me? I looked it up, and potatoes are indeed not a vegetable. Damn it! They're a tuber, which is not a vegetable. I hated losing arguments. It's an argument. I'm over here trying to bring up Facebook so maybe I can see the comments. Oh, look, there I am already. Woohoo! Oh, 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 see? I hate it when... Let's bring the sound down. Oh, and that reminds me, when I listen, because I always listen eventually to my things, my Facebook Lives, to see if I said anything interesting. And I don't... Last week, which was Tuesday, the sound wasn't perfect. And so today I made sure I plugged it all in tightly and put the little microphone protector on tightly. And okay, I think I have that on. And let me know if it's still bad. Put on all my layers just now for a 20-minute dog walk. Grapple. That's right. I forgot about Grapple. Yeah. Okay. Dippin' Dots. Grapple. Dippin' Dots sounds more palatable. So I ordered glasses this week. I ordered computer glasses so that I can look at the screen and actually focus on it without going like that. So that'll be exciting. And they're not as reflective, so that'll be helpful too. All right, Sarah, get to whatever it is you wanted to talk about. I would, but there's... can you hear the conversation going on? People are talking to me. Okay, so it was a good mail day today. And I'm going to... yesterday, I got a box from Harry and David that my sisters sent me. It's becoming, or maybe it has been, and I just am figuring it out, a holiday tradition. So I have pears and apples and cheese and crackers and nuts and Moose Munch, which were not in the delivery, but were indeed delivered also because Moose Munch. And that was yesterday. The day before that, I got the poop bags. That's important. My kitty litter has been shipped, but hasn't arrived yet. So that's some excitement, right? And then today was a really good mail day. Today I got a lot of stuff. I actually did some Christmas shopping this year, which I haven't actually done in years. So that's interesting. And today I can't show you what I got. The one thing, because my sisters have been known to watch my Facebook Live and it's for them. So I don't want to show you because they might see. But Ellen Rosewall from Sheep Shape Knits, her Etsy shop, has, and I will type it into the doohickey too, some delightful hand knit, usually, things for sale. I met Ellen. She's retired. She was I'm going to say a professor of arts management at in Madison. So, you know, I don't know which school that is. And crap. And she retired recently, but she would come in the summers and take classes from me at Interlochen when I was teaching up at Interlochen, which technically I could still be if I would actually send them proposals. So this is her retirement, one of her retirement gigs. Facebook.com. So let me type in her website. I don't know what it's going to give you, but because I shopped on the... Sound is good at my end. Good. Glad to hear that. There's her website. And so probably from there, you can find her. I don't know. Anyway, something really amazing came in the mail today. a little box of happiness, and that is one of the things I got. I also got, I don't know what else I got. Got a lot of things. Oh, a t-shirt, but I'm not going to show you that yet. I also got, are you there? Where are you? Okay. Oh, remember my sewing, speaking very slowly, before I took my blackwork class, you know, you're going to get to hear about things besides knitting, obvi. As my journey, as my exploration deepens. So before I took the class, how do I get into this? Oh, at the bottom. Remember I was sorting, remember I was sorting my sewing needles because they were in a jumble, and I found John James' website. John James makes needles, or sells needles anyway, and their website had pages, a PDF you could print, and if you printed it a certain way, the needles would be actual size, and it had like pictures of every needle imaginable. And so I used that and sorted my needles. And I since discovered, I'm opening all these little pieces of plastic, inside pieces of plastic. So hang on. Wow, this is a tight fit. Okay. Oh, and then there's a piece of plastic. This is called from Access. Well, I ordered it from Sassy to Stitch, another Etsy shop. Once you go on Etsy, you just start clicking on things, I've learned. I'm a little bit new to Etsy, and I think that it's a bad idea. Okay, I'm going to put her thing in there too before I even show you what I got, because that's how I am. Sassy2stitch.com. Sassy2stitch.com. Click. Okay. Check out the inventory clearance section. $4.95 flat rate shipping on the entire order. International rates will vary. Ooh. Okay. Back to you there. So one of the things, so when I went there to order, I think what I did, okay, what I ended up getting, since I already started. Okay, so now I'm in this official thing that appears to be from a place called, it's from Sassy to Stitch, Glenda at Sassy to Stitch. Access Commodities, this cool little foldy-uppy thing that has in it the thing I was trying to get to, which are needle ID cards. Check that out. So this is a fancier version of just printing off a PDF. Oh, maybe that's like Collect All 10 or something. So there's tapestry needles. So you can see how long they are, the different sizes, how like 18, 20, 22, how long they are, and the size of the eye. So for example, I have some Sharps and I have some chenilles. And look at the size of the eyes. Whoop. The eyes are very different. So like, you can start sorting based on the eyes. And then there's Crewel, which are, oh, I did it right. Yay. Smaller eyed, but so 18, 20, 22, same length, but the eyes look different. Woo, woo. So I'm excited. So now I have something better than just a piece of paper that maybe wasn't printed off at exactly the right size in a handy carrying case. Ooh, which I'm able to put back together. I don't need to put it in the other pieces of plastic though. So that's cool. I think the reason that I actually went there was because I was curious. Okay, so also, when I was, before I took my blackwork class. No, while I was taking my blackwork class, there was talk of a laying tool, mention of a laying tool, and I had no idea what she was talking about, and she explained that a laying tool would help you to lay the strands of your floss, like we are using 3 strands, nice and flat without twisting. And I was like, holy crap, somebody's trying too hard. So of course, eventually, like a month later, I had to look up laying tools and watch the video. And so I have myself a really fancy laying tool. It's not really fancy. It was pretty cheap, actually. She had a bunch of different kinds, and I was drawn to the texture of the handle. Oh, I have to cut my nails. Holy cow. The texture of the handle. Look how sharp this sucker is. Poke. It comes with a Sarah-proof little cap. So at some point, not in my black work, because just like continental knitting and English style, not continental knitting, you don't want to switch in the middle. So I'm not going to suddenly start laying my stitches because they would look different. And then either because I needed to, no, I didn't need to for free shipping. I think I just was obsessed at that point. I also ordered and got, it's got all the stuff on it. This is it's called a lighted pin picker upper, which makes me happy. I'm going to tear this off. Okay, so there, whoops, that didn't really work. There's some of the tape off, not all of it. I'll work on that later. And then this, taking some tape off. Pretty soon we'll get to some knitting content in case you are wondering. Not real soon. Today. Actually pretty darn soon. Okay, and at some point, if I can get all the tape off, which I can't even see the tape. Remember how I have to look up? The reason I'm trying to get the tape off, there we go, whoop, is because it's supposed to light up, and I couldn't get it to light up, so I assume, oh, there's a switch. Oh, and then it lit up. So the reason I decided to get one is because in this very room, in this dark room, I have been known to drop pins and, oh, you know, metal stitch markers and things. Maybe laying tools. Oh, maybe this S-hook. So, is this pen metal? No, that pen must not be metal. My phone. Nope, not me. That pen must be metal. Oh. Metal pens apparently aren't metal. Oh. Okay, I am a very happy camper right now. So it lights up so I can find the things I dropped. And then it is magnetized and stretchy. It's not called stretchy, it's called expandable, so that I can reach them. So guess what? I got two, one for here and one for by my sewing machines. I've got to stay off the Etsy. Okay. All right. I'm not doing a good job at taking off the stickers. Okay. Let's just kind of, I'm balling up all the little pieces of stuff I pulled off and putting that in the garbage. And so I didn't do a very good job because there's still that stuff and there's still this stuff. So maybe the glue gone. I'm very excited. I'm very excited, and I'm very excited mostly about this. Okay, so that was one of today's packages. Please hold. And then another of today's packages from Artisan Knitworks. I talked about them last week. We'll put up their thingamabob. See how I have to look up to focus? You get to look up my nose. Okay, so that should do something. What are people saying? Sound is good. Sheep shape knits. Cool. Oh, hi, Teresa. You just lay them on there to figure out the size you have. Yes, they will match perfectly. Do you sell some? Because I hadn't ever heard of them. See, I should go to your shop and find all the things. Maybe after Christmas. after the holidays. Maybe after I make some more money to after I pay my maybe after I pay my current bills. But Artisan Knitworks is the shop in Chelsea, Michigan that used to be in Farmington Hills, Farmington. And I ordered that's where I ordered the yarn for Starsky from. Do you remember Starsky? Fran, if you're here, the answer is yes. Um, with an asterisk. So there you go. Looks like my links all worked. So, excuse me. So last week I showed you I had ordered yarn from Sheep Thrills in Lauderhill, Florida, to make my Starsky. I don't want to. I'll tell you what. You can go back to last week's thing that happened Facebook Live on Monday that happened on Tuesday, and you can find what I was talking about. But it's hi, Fran. So I'm glad you're there. I'll keep talking about it. So I want to teach a class. Well, I want to make a sweater, but I thought that you might want to join me. So I want to teach a class, my sweater design class, and it's going to be a simpler sweater in construction because I want to do drop shoulder, hardly any shaping. Although I might be. No, I don't think I need if I'm making it oversized, I don't need to do it A-line, but you might want to do it A-line. That's fine. And, oh, all right, fine. I'll find the thing and link to it. I'm not going to hold it up again, though. Let's see. I'm just looking for it. Hold on. So the short story is I thought about going to Mexico, so I found this pattern, which doesn't follow at all, but it did. Patterns, single patterns. And I saw this pattern for this scarf. Okay, I'm going to link to this. And don't buy it because if you take the class, Cornelia, the designer, will send you, I'm trying to get the link, a Ravelry code for it because she's fabulous and we are collaborating. All right, Facebook. Sweater! Okay, so if you bring that up, or actually it should show you. Yep, you can see it in the little picture in the chat. You don't even have to click on it. So that is a scarf, a wrap, a rectangular wrap. But the way it's styled in that photo, I was like, that's really pretty. It reminds me of a big, comfy sweater, shawl collar. I'm thinking drop shoulder. The swatch can be one of the two pockets because I'm going to add pockets to it. And did I mention drop shoulder? And it's a really pretty slip stitch pattern. If you click on it, you can see one of the pictures is of the a close-up of the front and the back of the pattern. So the shawl collar would be the back as you fold the pattern. And it's really pretty. So I thought that I wanted to do the same yarn. First I thought about Stash, then I thought about Woven Art. And then I thought, no, I want to do Noro, damn it. And Woven Art doesn't carry Noro, so we're going off. And this is me. This isn't. Oh, I should talk about that. Holy crap. This is, I don't buy all my yarn at Woven Art, is what I'm saying. So I did some research. You get to do your own research. But I can tell you that I found so that scarf pattern that you'll receive a coupon code for if you purchase the class, which is not available yet because I need to get caught up on other things like my Etsy shopping. Hello. Is two colors, is two Noro yarns. And so I found this online, on sale online at Sheep Thrills in Lauderhill, Florida, and got it rather quickly. And I got I calculated, and here's how I calculated. Fran, are you listening? I took how big around I wanted my sweater to be, which I'll give you the numbers that I came up with. Let me see if I can find them. Really wishing I could, where is it? Share my screen. I wonder where I put it. Okay. Ooh. Um, Pinned, new, recent. I'm in recent. Open. All right, let me go find it in my folders. And again, you get to look up my nose because it's the only way I can see on my computer. I'm excited about my new glasses, but um, it was after I shopped at Etsy, so now I'm not excited about all the dollars that are leaving my house. Hand knitter. Um, or is it here? Talk amongst yourselves. Did I call it Starsky? I would have called it Starsky because it reminds me of the sweater, the big sweater or sweaters that I didn't call it Starsky on Starsky and Hutch that my crush Starsky used to wear. Ah, ah. Okay. Well, let's just do it from our head then. Wait, let's see if it's here. Teaching on the Zoom. Would be on the Zoom. Isn't this fascinating? Did I call it Starsky here? No, I did not. Sweater design. Starsky sweater. Found it. Ha! Okay. So the sweater, nope. The scarf gauge is 4.5 stitches to the inch. Are you writing this down? And 10 rows to the inch. Is that true? I think that's true. Because otherwise, yeah, I think that's the gauge for the pattern. And keep in mind, it's a slip stitch pattern. That's why it's kind of compressed. I'm assuming you can see me. I'm looking at a spreadsheet. And so I calculated, now my bust is currently 40-ish inches around, and I want to do drop shoulder. And I decided to go big or go home as far as yarn planning. So that's what we're talking about right now, by the way, is yarn planning. So I went with 50. I went with 10 inches of ease. I don't know if that's really what I'm going to use or not, but I figured that was a lot. So I figured my body is 50 inches around. And I decided to go big or go home, and I went with 30 inches long, which is really, really long. And I multiplied 50 inches around by 30 inches long and got 1,500 square inches of the sweater body. And then, you with me? This would be the first class, by the way. And this is using the yarn that was recommended. Fran, the yarn that you mentioned, the Curion, if it's plain old Curion, is exactly the same yardage per gram. And I calculated that I needed, jumping ahead to the end here, 3 balls of each of the 2 yarns. One of them is the same as Curion. So, and those were 3 100-gram balls. So that'd be 6 50-gram balls, because I think Curion comes in 50-gram balls. So if you had 6 50-gram balls of Curion and you're not looking for anything bigger than 50 by 30, there were some sleeves figured in there too, by the way, extra. I'm skipping that math right now. Okay, I'm going to go find you guys again. There you are. So if that size sounds okay, and we assume we're going to match the gauge of the scarf to get that fabric, and I did more math with the finished size of the scarf and how much yarn it said it used, which probably was more than it really used. So I think I have a way over estimation going on. But I figured 3 of the, so it turns out I didn't realize that I knew the one yarn that I had ended up finding before last week was a fingering weight, singles, and I don't know why I just assumed the other one was too, but I arrived today in a fucking big box, and I'm like, what the hell? It's an Aran weight. It's huge, and it comes in 200-gram balls, so they're huge, and I got 4 of them, so it's huge. So, but this is the same, grist is our new word. So I think that's yards divided by grams or vice versa. It's one of those. As Curion. But this is my yarn. Look at that. It's ginormous. It's almost as big as my head. More colorful than my head. This is the most beautiful ball of, whoop, that was interesting. Noro I've ever, it's most beautiful, like artistically wrapped, let's say, ball of Noro I've ever seen. I don't know which way is up. I think that way is probably up. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with that way is up. And so this is like a beautiful ribbon thing that keeps the yarn from unraveling. And then here's the tag. Yep. There's like words. There's like a story of Noro inside. The quote from Isaku Noro. I don't know how to say Isaku, but I assume we say Noro. Oh, hey, what's going on with my hair? Says, be free from existing concepts and limitations. Pursue the image in our minds. So there you go. That's the mission statement. And then it has a paragraph about natural fiber, one about natural color, and one about natural process, which I will not read to you, although I could if I wanted to. So, yeah, it's some number of yards. 200 and... Oh, because it doesn't say. It's 200 grams and it's 400 meters. So it's 420 something-ish yards. I don't remember, but it's exactly the same yards per gram as, or grams per yard as Curion. So you could use Curion for the thicker yarn, because apparently one of them's thicker. I had no idea until just today. And then you'll need a, hi! Really? Okay, wait, now I'm getting caught up. Diane, I want to start in January, but I know that you guys need to find the yarn. And I'm actually behind in my editing at the moment, and I'm also trying to schedule some other things. So I'm just like treading water a little bit. Not as bad as usual. Oh, they're 100-gram balls. I don't know what I just said. And plus something. Plus stuff. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I want to tell you, I just taught my first in-person class on Sunday since right before the lockdown. And I want to tell you about that, so don't let me forget. So yay. So that was taking up some time getting ready for that too. All right. So I'm in the comments, and that's the answer to Diane's question. I'd like to start in January. But like most of the sweater classes, once we start, I just kind of, each session will schedule the next session, because there's not usually a lot of people, and we just want to allow enough time to get to the next step. So sometimes it's like the first step is a lot of knitting. Well, the first step is, swatching. And then the next step is a lot of knitting, because if we start the sweater body, it's just a big square or rectangles or whatever. And it can take a long time, and we might have other things to do. So we're going to play it by ear, but I'll try to get it started. So 1,200 yards. So let me go back to so Fran has some Curion in stash. That's what we're talking about. And I don't have it, so I had, with my 10% added on, because industry standard is to add 10%. I don't know if you know that, but if, like, when I write a pattern for Blue Sky, I weigh the sample, and then I add 10% to that for how much yarn the sample will need, because people don't always hit gauge exactly, and you want to swatch. So, really, you do. So 10% added to the amount of yarn needed is industry standard. Who knows if everybody does that, though? So I approximated how much yarn I would need, and then I added 10%, and I came up with 200 grams. Oh, no. 2.89 times 200. And then rounded up to that I would need 3 balls of, do I have a doohickey? also known as a calculator. On. Okay, 200 grams times 2.89 is 578 grams. Did you say you have 6 balls? Let's go back and look at Fran's. Where'd she go? Here she is. 6. Did you say you have 6? Is that 6? I think that's 6, right? 100-gram balls. I can't do grams to yards in one sentence, Fran. So 6 should be plenty for that size of sweater, which is huge, in my opinion. I don't know what the yards are. Yes, shoot for January. Okay, and then the I'm lost. I'm looking at the comments and trying to do math at the same time. And then for the Ito, which is the fingering weight, I came up with well, the same yardage, because quite frankly, it's the same. I don't know. So 3 balls. Well, 3. Huh. Okay. Anyway, trust me, because I'm a trained professional and I can't do math in front of you. But I'm looking at my spreadsheet from when I did do the math, not in front of you, so it was probably right. And I came up with adding 10% and then rounding up to the nearest ball of yarn. So in this case, the nearest 200-gram ball of yarn, and in this case, the nearest 100-gram ball of yarn, right? That I needed 3 of each. So what's happening next? Where'd you go? Besides me scheduling the first, see, if I only have to schedule the first one, I think that's doable. And at the first one, you don't have to have swatched or anything, because we'll talk about swatching and we'll do some math, and then you'll be ready to start knitting, even though you haven't swatched yet. So that's not exactly true. 50-gram balls. But do you have? I don't know. 550 grams total. So yeah, I said 5. I already deleted it. Oh, 578. Yeah, so that's really close, and I really overestimated the size. So I think you'd be fine. And once we have an actual swatch in our hands of whatever stitch pattern you're going to do, then we can get a lot closer to an actual estimate. Yeah, I thought the crayon was 50-gram balls. Okay. And then, yes, Diane, I figured out 3 of Ito, which is 100 grams. So here's the thing. The Ito, I'm assuming you can see me because I'm still looking at chat, is 100 grams, and helps if you're holding it right side up and if the light's shining on it. Okay, 100 grams, 300 meters. I can't do conversions right now. And I think 3 of these, I had calculated that 2.89 balls would be plenty, and I rounded up to 3, which would be more than plenty, right? So 3 of these. So if you substitute about 3 of these. So 3 times, God, just can't see. Hopefully when I get my new glasses, I'll be able to see. 300 grams or 900 meters, something in that area. And this is a fingering weight, and it's a singles. Let me find you. I'm glad we're talking about this. Okay, so it's a singles, which means it's not plied with other plies. It's just one piece of yarn. It's got a little twist to it. It's got a little over here twist to it, but it's not like a 2-ply or a 3-ply. Wow, I really can't aim. It's just there you go. Just a single ply, but you get yelled at by spinners when you say single ply. I got stuff going on. Sorry, one of these yarns it feels like smells like I feel that it's been sprayed with perfume and I'm having trouble breathing right now. Okay, so the other yarn, I bought four of each of them. Did I buy four? I bought four because why not? Go big or go home. So, but I calculated that I needed less than three of both of them, of each of them. And this one is 200 grams and 400 meters. It's a thicker yarn. It's an Aran weight. Aran is a little bit heavier than worsted. Think 4 stitches to the inch, which I think was our gauge, wasn't it? 4.5, because it's a slip stitch pattern, so it's a little compressed. Next week, perhaps I will have swatched. But you know what I'm going to do? So 3 of these would be 600 grams or 1,200 meters and 1,200 meters. So what I'm going to do right now, because I just got this in the mail. It is really pretty, isn't it? Because I just got this in the mail today and brought it up here where the Ito already was. I haven't actually held them together yet. So let's do it. Ready? I hope it's pretty. Oh, it's going to be beautiful, you guys. Look at that. The colors got... I can't aim anything. The colors kind of got brighter, didn't they? The greens are really popping. Oh my gosh. Okay. Also, this stuff is really expensive. I did not count on that. So, heads up. You can see it was $42 a ball. So, $42.50. I did not expect that. But I'm going to love my Starsky sweater regardless. Ooh, it looks like I froze on my iPad. Anyway, I'm excited. Those are really pretty together. Look at that. I don't wear brown, but this is the third brown sweater that I will have on the needles. Yay! How am I doing? Yep, it's always like 1:45 when I decide to check the time. So let me go finish checking the comments because I know that Fran said something. By the way, the Starsky and Hutch reruns are not too bad all these years later. You know, in my head, I'm getting Starsky and Hutch and Dukes of Hazzard confused. That's not a good thing. So I'm like, I don't want to watch it. And then I'm like, oh, wait, it's not Dukes of Hazzard. It's Starsky and Hutch. So maybe I will look them up. Going through. Okay. Yeah, I think, Fran, that you'll be fine. And I'm excited about my colors now. I'm going to just start wearing brown sweaters all the time. Doesn't that pop? Oh, this is 100% online shopping. Oh, actually, I didn't even see this one in person. I just used the color card on the Neuro site. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm happy. So perhaps I will swatch so that I can show you the fabric. But here's the deal. Okay, here's the deal with Starsky sweater. I'm going to have a class. I'll figure it out. I'll get it posted. And it's going to be for a oversized, drop shoulder, square-bodied, although we can put an A-line in if you want, sweater. Shawl collar. I think it's going to be an easy shawl collar. Because the way that's... Anyway, we'll talk about that later. And... you can do stockinette stitch or well, if you do stockinette stitch, it's going to curl on the edges unless you put borders on, which you can do. Excuse me. But if we keep it simple, stupid, KISS. If we keep it simple and use a stitch pattern that doesn't roll, like the one in the scarf, which has slip stitches, then we don't need any borders. And when we fold it back, the other side's pretty. And the collar won't roll. So that's my thought. And, included in the price of the pattern will be a coupon code for Cornelia Tuttle Hamilton's pattern on Ravelry, which she has generously agreed to. And but what I'm trying to say, and I'm not ever getting to, is you don't have to use Noro. You don't have to use a stitch pattern, that stitch pattern. We're just going to make basically rectangles. There'll probably be some shaping in the sleeve a little bit. And whatever you want to do is fine. You can do garter stitch. It'll still be an oversized sweater with drop shoulders and maybe A-line shaping and a shawl collar, right? Um, because I had trouble finding the Noro, and when I found the Noro, I didn't actually see it. And then now that I'm seeing it and I can see the price tag, I'm like, holy shit. Um, Not that you can't afford it. I can't afford it. But so you want an Aran weight that is comparable to 9 to 200 grams, 400 meters. And you don't have to have it ahead of time. Let me just tell you that. And you want a fingering weight that is, look at that price. That was $19.95 marked down to $9.98. So that makes up for the other one. Okay, we're all good. It's all fine. Sheep thrills. 100 grams, 300 meters. So the way that my I'll stop talking about this class in a minute, but the way that my sweater design classes work is you show up with nothing at the first one, and we take a couple measurements, and we talk about swatching and gauge, and we talk about what you're going to use, and then we talk about, once you have your blocked gauge, stitch and row gauge, then here are the numbers that you can calculate the numbers that you're going to cast on based on the measurements and your swatch. Not your measurements, but the measurements of the sweater you're going to make for you. So you don't even have to have all this, but if you want to start trying to find that particular yarn or some particular yarn, that's fine. And then at the first session, we will figure out when the second session is, because if you're having trouble finding yarn, it doesn't have to be right away. Oh boy. So it is a big ball of yarn, isn't it? I mean, like, it's 200 grams, so it's like a $21 ball of 100 gram yarn, which is reasonable, I guess. And it is actually very reasonable. I just had never seen a ball of yarn quite that large. When I got the box, I was like, did she accidentally send me 8? What's going on? No, she sent me what I asked for. So I will try really, really, really hard to get session 1 up on my website. So stay tuned. And then I'll do a newsletter and let you know. I will tell you that I had my first in-person class on Sunday since April something, March something. When was the shutdown? We're still shut down technically, but yeah, over a year and a half. And it was on Sunday, I went into Woven Art and I had 3 students, and it was my fit clinic. And there's currently not a door on the classroom at the back of the shop. There is a door for the classroom at the back of the shop, but it is nowhere near the opening for the door for the back of the shop. But I was told that if you open the door to the bathroom that's in the classroom at the back of the shop, that it essentially blocks the doorway, which it did. So we did that, barricaded it with a yes, Diane, but don't do it yet. Let me talk to you first. Ask me questions if you want to. I'll answer them. But let me get through this story. Yep, I had 3 people, one of whom was probably my age and just about my size, and so me, and one was shorter, smaller person. I guess age doesn't have anything to do with it, does it? Shorter, smaller person, and one was, I don't know how tall she was. One had just had a baby, so she had stuff going on that she may not always have going on. And we took measurements. That was the point. It's the fit clinic, by the way. And we took measurements, and they were all very good sports. Lots of boobs were touched and butts were touched. And we laughed because it was funny. And then I so we filled out some measurement forms, and then I handed them a size chart, and had them check off all the sizes, all the If your bust was 40, check off where it says bust is 40. And if your waist is, I don't know, 36, circle where the waist is 36. And they were circling all the things. And at the end, they're like, don't fit in any of these sizes. And I was like, that's right. That's the point. Um, Clothes are not made to fit us. So then we talked about how to use the measurements to select a size for a knitting or crochet pattern, and then what you might want to learn how to tweak. But that was just briefly a follow-up, because really it was about getting the measurements so that you have them for future decisions that you need to make. And you know how to take them in case, for example, you just had a baby and they might change. So, very exciting. Went really well. Looking at the comments. Phew, baby. Swatch with both yarns. And then I shushed you, Diane. So, I'm going to, I'll swatch so you can see what it looks like live and in person, using the stitch pattern from the thing, Cornelia's pattern. But I don't want you to buy the pattern yet. So you will have it, if you sign up for the class, you'll get it right away, or soon, before the first class. And then you can use that to swatch if you want to use that stitch pattern. But you don't have to have swatched before the first class, because I want to make sure that you swatch properly, so we will talk about that in the first class. Because when you make something to fit, you need to actually pay attention to your gauge, right? Right. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't know where that was. I knew where that was going. Oh, there was something else I was going to do. I'll save that for next week. But I also want to show you my progress on this, and then we will go bye-byes. I'm getting there. I'm close. So last week, I was here. When I do this, I'm leaning over. I have a toolbox, a set of tool drawers, or what they, like these guys, and I'm pulling them out and looking for the things so I can mark this week's progress. Okay, and then I'm going to put the drawer away because I'm a good girl and clean up after myself. Don't look behind me. Okay, so now we're going to go like this. Boop. There's my boobs. And so here's where I was last week. Here's where I am this week. Not as, this is the week before. Where's the week before? Holy crap. That was the week before. So I did all that between, well, there was an extra day in there because I did the thing on Tuesday instead of Monday. But that was 2 weeks ago. This is this past week. So I'm going to mark where I am now so that I can show you next week how far I got. So since I started marking them, I've done that much. That's a lot from here. But the more exciting news is that I hit the end of the third repeat. So was this the third repeat, second repeat? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go. That was the end of the third repeat of the 3.5 repeats that I have to do. Right there. So I am that far into the third repeat, or sorry, the fourth repeat, and I don't even have to do the whole fourth repeat. I only have to do half of it. So it's 3.5 repeats. And the repeats are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these bigger squares. 1, 2. So half of a repeat is 3. So I only have 3 of these bigger squares left, which is only that much. That's how much I have left to do. And I'm that far into it. Woo! So the end is in sight. Trying to get it done by Christmas. Have we mentioned I would still need to weave in ends and block and put on the crocheted border? Mhm. And learn to say no. So just almost there. All right, so I wanted to report in on that. I wanted to show you my they're so pretty together. I mean, this is fine and all, but it just glows with the brown. And it's like a red, like a dark chocolate. It's got like reddish dark chocolate that's been in the fridge because it has that whitish stuff too. Makes my face look red when I put it in front. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so perhaps I'll swatch, but really I'm supposed to be working on the wrap that I just showed you. Like I want to work on my black work and put in the gold nibs that I showed you the gold stuff last week, and like nope, work on the wrap, work on the wrap. So I did use when did I did work on my crocheted crazy Millens blanket because I took it to the shop on Wednesday because I can't spit splice at the shop because I'm wearing a mask. So I took my crocheted blanket to the shop for the knit along on Wednesday. Let's see what I think I have at least one more. You can shush me. I got in trouble in class for talking, so I'm used to it. Thanks, Diane. I want to talk to you like face to face, Zoom, in depth about swatching before you swatch. I mean, you can swatch. That's fine. I'm not going to stop you, but don't think you have to have swatched before class because I won't expect you to have a swatch. Okay, that's what I mean. Go ahead and look for fabrics if you want. Swatch for a fabric. And by the way, the scarf, if you follow the stitch pattern for the scarf, which you don't have yet, the scarf gauge was 4.5 stitches to the inch and 10 rows to the inch, but that might not be the fabric I want for my sweater. I might want it to be firmer or looser. So that's part of the swatching too. So I used those numbers for my calculation because I had them for the scarf and also knew the size of the scarf. So between the stitches per inch and the inches and the yarn quantities, I could make an educated guess, unlike me doing math on the Facebook Live. Not educated guesses. Very inept stabs. Speaking of stabs, okay, I have nothing else today. I do, but nope, we're done. Thank you for listening. Hey, I made it in just under an hour. Look at me. I will see you guys next week. I may or may not have a swatch. I will hopefully have a date for, not a date, but you know, a date for the class, a time slot. And yeah, I'll try to make that a priority. Okay? Okay. Phew. I never know what I'm going to say. I had ideas. I will see you. Good night. You already have Ito? Oh, I'm jealous. I have a little bit of cash aroha in my stash left over from a skirt I made that I'm pretty sure I can't fit into, and it's not even done yet because I gained weight. So there you go. All right. Hey, it's 6 o'clock. I'm done. I'll see you guys later.